What's going on YouTube? My name is Bancroft, and today I'm actually being joined by Adam as we go over today's matchup, which is Zamasu taking on SS4 Vegito. What's going on, Adam?
More Zamasu, yes.
And like always, if you guys enjoy the content, let me know in the comments down below by saying stuff, sure. And there's also buttons, feel free to click them there for a reason. But let's get into it. We've seen both these decks on the channel. We know Zamasu is a deck that you have, especially for it being green, you have to go quick. Because if you're not quick enough, you will deck out.
Yeah, absolutely. But, unfortunately, Zamasu draws a lot, too. So that's kind of a double-edged sword for green, which is sometimes a problem.
Yeah, but I mean, I know, like, because we've played this matchup, not this particular matchup here, but I've played against you while using Zamasu, and, like, you've managed to, like, I think mill, like, 5 cards, 6 cards in one turn through just random EX evolves and whatnot, and it could suck. And
yeah, especially in those later turns.
Yeah, and like I know Vegito could do it. It just depends on how well Jason pilots the deck in this situation, or also RNG, what he draws into, because that matters a lot too. Because like I said earlier, it's green, it's milling you. You can't get rid of the cards themselves unless you have a way of removing indestructible or negging them down to 0. So like your cards are sticking. You're gonna always have them for their aggression, and you have access to one of the greatest negates, which is dormant. It just says you only attack me twice. So like you gotta make sure those attacks you're attacking with matter.
Absolutely, yeah. And black traditionally has had a tough time with removal, especially if you have keyword skills like barrier or indestructible. And like you said, if he doesn't find the cards that he needs, I mean, this black deck can really go off by turn 2 and be super scary.
Oh yeah,
if you're not ready for it.
Especially since he has the easy. Like I remember when this deck first came out, Jimmy built it, and he had the Z energy, and like his turn 2 took me down from like 7 to 1, and I'm like, what just happened? Because of just a lot of stuff is free, and then you have one cost going to a double strike, So here's kind of like the beginning of your deck here. You play this 1-drop. As long as your leaders awaken, this is when the milling starts.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do like to try to play those 1-drop Zamasus if possible, because if you have them on the board, then using the if they get rid of it or something happens where that 1-drop goes away, you still have the Unison's ability to play from the Z deck.
Yeah. And keep in mind, when using Unison, it does negate its skills. So, like, you're just playing a vanilla card, but as long as you're paying 1 energy to play this 1-drop, get a mill, and then you, in this situation, we saw like EX evolve from a card from the drop, and then it gets to restand itself as well. Now, this one's not the double strike window, right?
That's correct. Yeah, this is just a regular Union Patara. Another, just real quick, another advantage of using a Zamasu that's on the board is that the activate main on that Fuse Zamasu, you can use it twice to get rid of 2 cards, whereas if you use the Z battle card, it'll only work once.
Yeah, because it's part of the cost to go to the drop, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They go to the Z deck, or the Z charge.
Here we have your Awaken finally for Vegito. You just need the Unison on board, and from here out, you should be good. Now, it is a... Oh, he hasn't done it yet. Okay. I was like, where is it? I thought he was flipping his leader over then.
Yeah, and anytime that I'm playing against this black deck, I am going full board against this Unison. This Unison brings so much advantage to the deck.
Mm-hmm. And especially with the ability to, like, not... For you, like you mentioned, if you had this 5-drop on the board, you could just... use the effect, get rid of any cards on his board. That way you're not to worry about wasting attacks or anything like that on that. The Unison here will have 3 markers on it, because it comes with 2. Oh, does he not have... I know he comboed off... Okay, I see Vegito in his hand. Okay, oh, he's adding it to his hand now. Okay. Oh, does he not have what he needs, so is the question.
Yeah, he was having a tough time finding the cards that he needed. He was pretty discouraged throughout the match, just not drawing what he needed.
Yeah, there must not be, because if I recall, it's been a bit, but if I recall correctly, the leader has a way of allowing you to do Union Patara um, by cards from the drop or the warp. I can't remember. I think it's from the. I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm going to look it up real quick. But it has a better way of doing it without you having to have the cards on the board itself. And then from there, you attack with it, you burst 2, you reset your double strike, and then, like for you, you're trying to go into it. Well, that card would have barrier, so it would be harder for you to get rid of it. But not just that, as soon as he blocks of it, it gives another marker to that Unison, making that Unison a little bit more protective. It not being there is only making that Unison way more of a target, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he's not going to get a marker this turn on it. So, like, you're free range going straight into, in which you are known to do this. When you have the opportunity for it, you go straight for it. Now, this, I think, is a slight misplay. I think if you're going for the Unison, he should have, I mean, that's a good card to discard for it, but
Sure
you've already decided, like, this is the card I'm going after. I'm going after your Unison, and so every attack he goes won't be going to the leader. It'll be going straight to the Unison. So that power protector people might have been a wasted card, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I think that he had also charged maybe his Super Kamehameha, which would have been nice to hit that Z Battle card coming in.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can see that, but in my drop area, I am splashing blue.
I know.
Maybe you'll listen to that a little bit later.
I did notice that when going over the edits for this video. I was like, when did he add that card in it? Which is a great tech, because it just brings cards back to your hand. Okay, you're only bringing the top card back to your hand, but that's all you really need, because, like you said earlier, the Unison will play one with its skills negated from your Z deck, and then you just have the cards to refuse into afterwards.
Yeah, it works out really well, because if I have a situation like what I've got on the board now, I can pick both of those up. One is a Union Patara target, the other is the EX Evolve target.
Yeah.
So if I can get that other 5 drop out, I could mill, anywhere from 7 to maybe even 10 cards in one turn.
Yeah. And for clarification earlier, I just did a quick look up. It's the cards underneath his Z-Unison he could use as fusion pieces. So it looks like he didn't have a Vegeta at the time in his warp to kind of grab those pieces, which is unfortunate, because you kind of want those. And he now has them there, but the problem is you've dealt with the Unison. So, like, going into this turn makes things a little bit tougher, because looks like he also burned the energy marker during that last turn as well. So things only get a little bit rougher, because now he will charge a card, be at 3 energy, if he wants to reestablish his Z-Unison, which, truth be told, at 6 life may be still the best bet, but he has no Z energy to do that with. Now, if I recall correctly, that is a 2/1. It takes 1 Z energy to do. So all he has to do is attack the lead. You're going to do Dormant, because it's green.
Yep.
Now, this effect still goes through, though. I mean, that's not a bad effect.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and in my case, attacking isn't really necessarily my goal.
Yeah.
If I can keep him at 6 life, then it gets him out of his token negates. It gets him out of using his super combos. So ideally, keeping him at 6, if he doesn't have a surmounting in the Z battle or in the Z deck, then I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah. Now, you did use your one of Charismatic, which, I mean, he did have a free overwhelm in his hand from what I could see. It would have drawn him an extra card. But I guess I think I only see like one actual negate in his hand. I guess he was just trying to set up so you can't take him out next turn, and gives him another chance to fight. And at this point, it isn't really worth playing the Z-Unison, because he isn't on the board to protect it. But I still think holding out the energy and playing the Vegito with barrier would have been a better choice. He would have been tapped out for this turn. But again, he's at 6 life. I mean, you do have enough cards to take out the Z-Unison, but it would have served a purpose for that moment. And he would have had a 35K, because it could gain 5K power, depending on the order how you do things, blocker,
Absolutely. And I do want to point out, I've been seeing a lot of people playing Zamasu on YouTube and things like that, don't forget about the minus effect on the Gowasu Unison. It restands one of your Zamasus and gives it blocker. So during your dormants, the battle phase still happens. Use that Unison so that you have a blocker for the next attack.
It's an activate battle marker effect, right? Yeah.
It is.
So here we're getting Grand Priest at the board. Now it's been a while since I've seen this card. Is it 20k? Is it crit?
20k crit. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can only have one of them on the board at one time, which is fine. I wanted to be able to get those pieces back in my hand.
Yeah. Now switching up to blue. No, you're playing the God Super Combo, which all you need is a God in your leader area for that effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it works out good, right?
Yeah, no, I can't think of anything. You don't play EDK in this deck. I can't think of anything else that would cause you problems. You charge it at a good turn. Turn 4 is a great turn. It's kind of towards the end. And for your case, it's you swing the 2 Zamasus first, and then you pay the 1, bring out this one, bring those cards back to your hand. Like we just saw, you kind of cycle it back to cause more milling just for doing the Union Patara.
And the Evolve, Yeah, so I'm feeling pretty good. I would have liked to have used the 5 cost or the other 5 cost Zamasu so that he would mill 2 instead of just milling the 1 off of the other one that I played. But I'll take 1.
Now this is not a bad play. Getting this out of the way now. Because he's at 3 life. He's in a very bad situation. This way he gets to see what is in your life, and also he gets additional card just for playing the card. So now he has 2 cards for the 2 energy. Now you have to be careful on what you're using. Obviously, we know you play Piccolo, but you're not going to play Piccolo this turn. You're going to do Dormant. Just get out of the way.
Right. And it also kind of turns off my Oceanuses.
Yeah, you can't Ocean. And it's okay, you have 1 energy right now, but yeah, you couldn't use that because it'll go to his side instead. Now, he does need to remove the Grand Priest to do that effect, though, but yeah.
And because of the amount of drawing that this Zamasu mill deck does, finding the dormants is pretty much a given. You can almost guarantee that your opponent, if they're playing Zamasu mill, probably has that.
Yeah, here's what you were mentioning earlier. Doing the activate battle during your defensive step to give blocker to the other Zamasu. So he will take this 1 you'll take this 1 damage. I don't think you feel like comboing out of a 40k because you know you're protected afterwards.
No. Take the slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
And then it just guarantees basically that his turn on the attacking side is over because I've got that blocker. It's got indestructible. If you had some way of resting it, that could maybe hurt, but anything else he throws in there, got it.
Black doesn't have a lot of targets that can actually switch to rest mode, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I do see some interesting, because I know my list is definitely different than Jason's. That hat check, I don't remember what that hat check does, but I think it just cycles cards, I feel like. It's been a while. It's a promo one, I think.
Yeah, I do think that it does something else because he's played it against me before and I hated it.
So we get this card here, which is not a bad play here. You can set this up easily for an attack. I think it comes with a card from the Warp. It's been a bit. And then he reestablished more cards into his Z energy. But going for the 20k crit instead. I mean, you're blocking it anyways. That works too. Just he played to get the draw. That makes sense, actually. I don't know what he plays in the Z deck. He does pass. We do see he has 2 petrifications in hand, so he has some form of protection here to kind of slow you down a bit. I don't know if it would be worth the risk. Like if 2 negates, that potentially stops 4 cards, but obviously it depends on the order of your attacks here. Because obviously you're going to swing with a card first. He'll petrify the other card, and then from there you still have open energy to play other things,
And I've got to really be careful about. I want to get that Cumber off the field if possible.
Yeah.
So
See, and here's the thing. I think here's the moment I would go ahead and petrify and hit Grand Priest, but it looks like he's like, oh, you're dropping hit. Yeah, okay. And
another little tech.
you play 2, play this. I don't think he was expecting this. And now Evil Saiyan can't take a hit because he has no targets. He has to choose one of his targets to send to the warp, and there is nothing there, unfortunately. And I think I was playing against Jimmy at the event right at this current moment, and you guys had called him over just to verify that was correct.
Reading cards, yay! And this one's got a paragraph on it. That Evil Saiyan has a lot of words.
But yeah, I think the petrification would have been a strong start here instead. Because then, like I said, he would lock down Grand Priest. That's 2 of your attacks out of the way. And then you're forced in to swing at the leader or start expending energy to do other things, which then changes your line of play.
Now I'm going to use that effect to get rid of the Evil Saiyan. Now that hit is a dual attack, so I do have to attack him twice in order to be able to get that effect, the floodgate essentially. And he doesn't really have a whole lot of cards in hand, so he would have to pay 2 out of his hand to attack when that hit is in rest.
Yeah. He's petrifying, I assume, with hit being a dual attack. Is that the double strike Zamasu on board?
It is, yep.
I think hitting hit's the best call here because then you could just bait cards out of his hand with the hit, swinging twice, and then going over the double strike afterwards. So now you're forced to swing with the leader to try to bait down to 2 life. But then if you do that, he petrifies again, hitting the Zamasu. And let's see if he does it.
Yeah, which to be fair, I mean, blanking the card is fine. I can still do things like Union Patara. I think, right? Or does
the card itself cannot attack, cannot be combo, cannot activate its own skills pretty much. Right. Permits are still allowed, but that just means you can still evolve on top of it, if correct.
Yeah, because the evolve is on the evolved target.
And he did not negate I mean, with an open green-blue energy, I think the best bet would have been petrified and hit that, because at that point, your 2-put energy, no cards to attack with. What's your next play, you know? Because now, I get it, he's not hitting a target here, so now... Okay, you restood the leader. But you wouldn't be able to, because you would have something the Unison then, I guess, to get the activate battle phase.
Yeah. And if you petrified one of the double strikers, the effect could still be used on the other one. So.
Yeah. Paying 1 energy here. Yeah, going straight into that.
Yeah.
I haven't actually looked at the Zamasu chain too much. Is it just listed as Zamasu, not fused Zamasu, I guess, on that one card?
Yeah, it's just Zamasu and a Goku Black.
Taking a hit here, going down to 1 life, and then swinging to Unison. The 5K Unison. And we're just going out for game.
Let's just close it out on the Unison.
We got 5, 10, 15, 25, 35, 45. 25 here. That's not bad. Because that makes it 35, 40, 45. And he has no energy for that. Ah, man, just enough. That's unfortunate. But hey, with that gives Zamasu the win in this matchup. Congrats, Adam.
Appreciate it. Nice little blue tech. I'm glad you were able to see it on screen.
And with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed. That's it. Bye.